Is granted.
The end of Brian Banks' ordeal was marked by tears after a judge threw out the rape charge that had sent him to prison for more than 5 years.
My only dream in the world was to just be free and to have the same opportunity as everybody here.
Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, "Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change." In the Washington Post online edition, quote, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change," end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes.
What's going on, guys? This is Eddie, the African Red Pill. Welcome to the video. In today's video, we're talking about the Johnny Depp trial. What did you take from it? So, what did you take from it? That's what we're talking about today. Let's get into it. So, the Johnny Depp case. What did we learn about it? What this case taught us is these movements which are formed to be hating on men, movements which talk about believer women, movements like Metoo, cases like where if a man is accused even without evidence, he's judged guilty before he's proven guilty. It's now guilty till proven innocent, of which in most cases it's guilty till proven guilty. These are the movements that's been going on for some time now. So what this case has done is, you can say it's a precedent. Like these things of believing no women, it should come to an end. Remember that college kid who lost his future because somebody accused him of raping her? That same girl even sued the school for $1 million. After some time, after some years, when guilt crept in, she confessed that she lied about it. But even after confessing that she lied about it, she admitted that she lied about it. Nothing was done to her. Like, isn't that a crime? Check out the video.
Is granted.
The end of Brian Banks' ordeal was marked by tears after a judge threw out the rape charge that had sent him to prison for more than 5 years.
My only dream in the world was to just be free and to have the same opportunity as everybody here.
He was a 16-year-old star linebacker with a full-ride scholarship to USC and had dreamed to play in the NFL when in 2002, a classmate accused Banks of raping her in the stairwell of their Long Beach high school. Although Banks insisted it was consensual and there was no sex, he told KCBS-TV that his defense attorney at the time gave him a choice: plead no contest to rape or risk a trial that could send him to prison for life.
When you go into that courtroom, the jury is going to see a big black teenager and you're automatically going to be assumed guilty. Those are her exact words.
He took the deal, went to prison, and had to register as a sex offender. He thought that was the end of it. But after he was released, came a surprise: a friend request on Facebook from his accuser, Juanetta Gibson.
I remember closing the laptop just like real quick and just like thinking like, what did I just see?
So Banks arranged a meeting with a private investigator who videotaped the whole thing.
No, he did not.
Gibson later explained she hadn't wanted to say that publicly for fear of losing a $1.5 million settlement that her family had gotten after suing the school district.
I may not ever get the answers as to why I was supposed to go through what I went through, but I know that I'm here today and I remain unbroken.
Unbroken and working to get his life back on track. Those dreams of playing in the NFL, he says, might be realized yet. We can't wait.
So after seeing such, are you still going to be believing the hashtag believer women, hashtag Metoo stuff, this Metoo crap? Are you?
From being a prisoner, an inmate, a felon, a convict, to having to walk the streets for an additional 5 years on strict custody parole as a registered sex offender, being called all types of names and degraded and humiliated. To be in that courtroom May 24th, 2012, and to finally hear the district attorney's office concede to the matter, deeming me factually innocent. And there's a difference. You know, innocent is like we don't have enough to come after you. Factually innocent is we made a mistake, we messed up. You should have never been arrested. In 2002, I was 16 years old. I was 11th in the nation as a linebacker playing for Long Beach Poly High School, very notorious school for football. I had verbally committed to USC on a full scholarship. I chose to go to a known makeout spot with this girl that I've known for some years. And in this makeout spot, we kissed, we touched, we made out, but by the end of that day, I was being arrested and accused of sexual assault and kidnapping. By the time that they figured out that that didn't happen, 10 years of my life had been lost.
I am innocent, and the truth matters.
You lost a lot of time, 10, 11 years, but you were given a second chance. Can you take us back to that moment in court when the judge said that you were exonerated? Do you remember how you felt?
I remember dropping my head to the table and just, I was happy. I was overwhelmed. The weight on my shoulders was lifted, but I was also questioning why? Why did this have to happen? Why me? Why did it take so long for people to finally begin to listen?
There's a lot of sexual assault against women. It's becoming a huge problem in our country. So how
Logical in this world, this thing of operating on emotions will just be ruining innocent people's lives. Like Amber Heard did with Johnny Depp at first. In 2016, Johnny Depp's life was ruined. How long has it taken him for him to reclaim back his life? And the such artist got money. That's how come he even managed to clean up his name. Now imagine an innocent person out there who's been accused on similar ground. So many lives have been ruined.
there's a lot of sexual assault against women. It's becoming a huge problem in our country. So how can people and the public learn from your story without placing judgment for the women that are coming out, that are brave enough to speak on being survivors?
Yeah, well, the truth is sexual assault occurs more than someone is being wrongfully convicted of it. And that's the sad thing about it, is that these types of crimes do happen, and they happen too often. But I also want to stress the importance of our detectives, of our police department, that we have to put the weight on their shoulders to do everything possible to do their job in discovering and finding out what actually happened in these situations, so that the right thing is done, the right justice is served, the right person is put behind bars. One out of every 3 African-American males will experience some form of incarceration throughout their lifetime. 95 to 97% of all criminal cases in the United States will end in some form of a plea bargain. Only 3 to 5% of cases are actually seeing trial. That doesn't mean that 97% of people are guilty. It means that they're being forced into deals, feared into deals, exhausted into deals. We have a judicial system that is built on plea bargains, and that is unacceptable. Now that I'm free, I sit on the advisory board of the California Innocence Project, as well as the advisory board of the National Registry of Exonerations. There are people in there right now, still in there for something that they didn't do. There are people that have been in there for 20, 30 years for things that they didn't do. There is somebody who has been in there on death row for things that they hadn't done. There have been people that have been put to death for crimes that they later found out they didn't commit. So I'd be damned if after everything that I went through, and to be in this moment now as a representation of these experiences, for me to shy away from them because I don't want to relive those moments. Like, this is my life. This is part of me now. I gotta do it for other people.
We need to start holding these false accusers. We need to start holding them accountable for their lives. If we start holding them accountable, then they'll be thinking twice about falsely accusing somebody. And then this same thing of hashtag believe all women. It's so ridiculous, such that even the same people who are supporting Johnny Depp, right now, they were the same people who cancelled him when he got accused in the first place. When the evidence was shown, and luckily his trial was on TV. If it wasn't on TV, he probably would have lost that case. After seeing the trial on TV, that's when everybody started seeing that, oh, he's the victim. But if we didn't even see that trial on TV and he ended up winning, the court of public opinion wouldn't still have forgiven him. So now what do we do about these false accusers? And we need to start holding accountable you people who like canceling anyhow without even hearing both sides. Like this lady, check out this lady. She confessed that, oh, actually I've been a fool for believing anything anyhow. Check out what she said.
Part, I suppose, with Adam Waldman's statement being found as a defamatory statement and possibly untrue. With the details that I learned from the divorce to the UK case to now, I just feel, though, that it is true that she did cause a hoax and said some false things. And but other than that, yeah, I think that this went in the right direction.
Why did you start following it? I mean, were you a Johnny Depp fan, or did you just see something that struck you about it and you took an interest?
A little of both. I am a Johnny Depp fan and have always been since I was a child. But it started with the kitchen video released to TMZ, and I almost was in disbelief because there were claims attached to the kitchen video, and it didn't show anything towards her, but you can't help but think, is it believable or is it true? And, I am a victim of multiple things, and I tend to believe all women, but this specific case opened my eyes to not believe all women. And following the evidence and from the divorce through the UK trial, as we said already, I just was a little bit disappointed in myself for taking that stance at first, because I didn't have all the facts.
Do you think it should be less about believe all women, but just maybe listen to the evidence, listen to the facts, take these things seriously instead of coming up with slogans that automatically convict people?
Right, yes, I do.
Kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, and we've been saying, domestic violence, there is no gender for domestic violence. It can happen to anyone. It can happen to an older male with money or fame, or, it could literally happen to anyone. If he was truly deeply in love with her and wanted to make it work, he was willing to put himself through hell to do it. And it can happen to anyone.
Becca, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So these hashtag movements have to come to an end. In most cases, they are politically driven. So you see with elections coming up in the US and these Western countries, whenever there are elections coming up, there's always a stupid movement which comes up. They target women so that they can swing votes in their favor. Women, you need to start working up. These movements are not good for you. Check out the society right now. The society is messed up because women have been targeted to ruin this world. Women are becoming masculine like men. Men are becoming feminine like women. If a masculine man, this new world or this new era, they're considered to be toxic. If you portray signs of being masculine, if you talk like a man, they will tell you you are portraying toxic masculinity. It's so crazy, man. This is where I'm gonna end my video. Hit like, comment, subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. Peace.